No, keep going, Dave. That's the intro.
No.
I only caught part of it in the street. I'm just like, just let it go. Only caught part of it, man. The
Yeah, just
excitement.
go and pull up those old Jock Jams CDs from 1998 or whatever.
Hang on, wait. I think I have some of those somewhere. No, I'm kidding. Actually, might somewhere. Used to have the radio station mixes,
Yeah. Well,
CDs
yeah,
from a
you were a
long time.
DJ though.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't for ours. It was actually from a radio station that they cycle them out. So my dad ended up with a bunch of them, and it was just like we didn't know
Yeah.
what was on them though, so we had to put the disc in, listen to it to
Oh,
hear what was
was it a
being.
burn CD?
Yeah, it was kind of like they come from the company that way. What I forgot what the company name was. They were red and white, and you didn't know you had to have the master list to tell what it was. We didn't have a master list. You only had U32, B61. These were all these disc labeled. That's all they were labeled as. The company name and whatever. And you had to have the master list to tell you what was on there and at what time. But they were made to drop into a CD player and you just hit play and it will play back to back, like fade over automatically music, depending on what was on it. You could see what was on it and you could actually cut it there, like pause it and do a commercial, and then come right back is what they would do. And I'm like, holy crap! And
Hmm.
it was good couple hours of music on one of these CDs, and you could just let it play. Some of the music was questionable on who listens to this moments because it was weird because there was a couple songs in that were tossed in with them that were like it almost sounded like there were promos or something that were trying to make this music popular, but I'm like, is it supposed to be newer music or is this something from another country that we just never heard of? And without the master list, you only knew if you could understand what they were saying sometimes. It's like something about cool drink, maybe, or someone stinks. We don't know. Some of the music was interesting to listen to. It was,
90s and 2000 music had a unique flavor to it.
yeah, especially when it was certain things that were, I guess it would be considered normal now. I don't know because I'm like, I don't listen to all this stuff. I didn't even think to check that if it. I'm just killing time to make sure there's no commercial playing right now.
I see no impending ad break yet.
Okay, let me change that. Every
I
15
mean,
minutes.
I am sub to this channel, so
Yeah.
you won't affect me in any way with that shit.
Okay, we're all clear. Okay. Flip to the main thing. There we go.
Wow.
And we see his new icon. I forgot. I did
Oh.
switch your
He's
thing up,
chibi.
Mercy. Mercer's little icon now has been changed. Gremlins! Galaxy's right!
Whoa.
Our newest
We ain't
streamer.
gremlins, we the
Gremlins.
orcs.
We the Orcs. Our newest
Where's the
streamer,
orcs now?
Galaxy. Yeah, Galaxy Star Queen 77, our newest streamer.
We're here to open this checking account here at this bank.
Little women don't know what will happen.
Oh.
What is this interest rate? What is it?
Um,
You're
do we
bad.
have to put something in something? Wait.
So
is
wait,
it?
what you're saying is that I give you this gold, right?
Yeah.
And then I gets a little gold for keeping my money in your bank.
Yeah, so I said right here.
So what you paying me to put my money in your bank?
Yeah, and then we make money off
That's
your money.
crazy.
Yeah, and then we make money off your money to pay to keep the lights on in this place. Which are just torches, really, but it's all right.
That's crazy.
We went from Transformers to orcs.
An all-orc campaign. When?
Yeah.
Did that food just talk?
I think so. Do we have
Food's
to
gotta
pay?
be quiet until dinner time.
Get me mallet. Let me go smash it. I'll tear its arm off. Does it have an arm? Is that an arm? Why does it smell
It looks meaty enough to be an arm.
So
We can keep going on this all day,
Yeah,
but we do need to move on.
yeah, I know. I'm trying not to laugh the whole time. It's like, oh my god. Okay. All right. So we're returning. Oh yeah. I guess I better do this. I'll plug this. Or that make it sound exciting. I am hot. I'm sweaty. I'm tired. Deal with it. It's hot where I'm at. But if you want to catch any past episodes, you can go to the YouTube side of things here. There are plenty of links there. Listen, Galaxy. And if you want to see Galaxy, there is a link on here too. It's right down there. See, right there, right there. Whenever she streams, hit that little follow thing and it shows you a little bell and it says, hey, somebody's streaming. There you go. Also, like I said, past episodes, both campaigns are there. You can catch up on the D and Destiny or this one. No. Put in the chat. No. I don't want it. But yeah. And then anything else, I hopefully will be getting some other stuff here soon because I ordered my wife something. And I haven't told her what it is yet.
Oh.
And I was like, it's from Star Wars. And there's a reason. And when I get it, I will try and take a picture and put it in Discord. So. But anyway, yes, find all the links there. All our streamers. Heximus did the little Kerbo that's up in the upper left corner that I use. So if you want one, you can contact her and commission her to do one. And check out Swerve's Bar Podcast. They do their, the old test for. No. Then she'll just go around blowing people up. Actually, she might blow us all up. No. I'm not getting her a Death Star. No.
Exactly. You get yourself a Death Star.
Yes.
It's our Death Star.
I'm getting the transforming Death Star. Ugh. What it transforms into, I have no idea. But anyway, okay, that's enough of that and plugging all of them. So Unicron. Yes.
I mean, isn't Unicron technically bigger than the Star?
Yeah, he is.
The Death Star?
I think.
Dark Star is the size of a moon. Unicron's the size of a planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And the Star.
he's a
Death Star?
that would make him a baby Unicron.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Death Star is a lot smaller. That's smaller. It's a moon. No, it's a planet. Wait, what is it? No, it's a star.
It's too small to be a planet. Look at the planet over there.
Now that one's big. Why does that one look like it's gonna eat us?
Why is that one opening up?
And
now
glowing?
it has arms and legs?
Yeah, it too.
Hey, don't blame me. I'm just here to observe.
Galaxy,
apparently.
you can't leave. We're just getting started with our antics. These guys are about to trip into a hole and get eaten by a spider. But, okay, well, enough of that fun.
It's called a Sarlacc pit.
Shh. I'm not talking about that right now. It's where we throw the complainers.
Well, why are you telling me you're gonna be eaten by spiders when they're gonna be that slowly digested for hundreds of years?
Well, see that the spiders are different. This
There's a
is yeah.
difference.
That, but you, I'm not. But anyway, okay, stop. I'll stop that. My mind is wandering. All right, so we got our 3 bots: Gilgamesh, Overload, and Void Striker, with their mini cons. Except for Void Striker's got somebody else of a surfer dude of variety, while Sky has Wavelength with her, and they are on the current planet where we left them. They are heading toward the ravine where there's lights. They have a pillar of rock that would be a good vantage point if they need. And it's pretty windy and blowing. That's what I was looking for. And here was the wind. And I don't remember where I put it. So, you know, when you put something somewhere and you think it's where it's at, but it's not. And I thought I had this sorted. So, you know what? I'll just keep talking and figure it out in a moment. But you guys are all 3 on this sand planet, sandy, rocky planet. It's kind of dark still out. You have pretty much one of the many moons floating around up in the sky, and you see the light from the ravine. It's kind of quiet, but you can hear what sounds like movement and thudding coming from this ravine every once in a while.
So I have a couple of questions right off the bat. First, how long until sunrise?
At the rate of the planet spin, you'll have about 4 hours.
And the wind speed and direction?
It will be crossing from, well, the direction your guys are coming from. It'll be on your, kind of more of your, coming from your right, going to the left. It's not directly at you, it's just more like cutting across you. You can actually see the sand kind of moving around and the whatever is on the ground kind of shifting a little bit from it. It's not super strong, but it's, you can feel it and see it a little bit.
Okay, but my point was we're not downwind from this base, like the
No.
wind's not blowing in that direction. So,
No.
Okay.
They wouldn't, if you were thinking they're going to smell you coming, no, they're not.
Well, that's just one of the things he's going to be thinking about is
It's
are they gonna
Gilgamesh.
are they going to detect us getting close?
That would depend on what you would be doing and where you, because you're coming from a direction that was the north side, if I remember right. I don't have that written. Or was it the south side? Oh, you're coming from one of the directions. That's the safer sides. Because if you came from west to east, they would actually spot you easier. Which would really suck. Oh, that sounds too quiet. It's supposed to be louder. Oh, that's too loud.
There it goes. Now I can hear it. Well, I wasn't hearing anything before.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Roll20's giving. I was trying to play, and I didn't know if you guys could even hear it. That's why I had to close all my windows before we started streaming. It was technical difficulties. Yeah. Yes, I know,
Yay.
Galaxy. Yes, I do have problems. It's all in my head. But yes, you hear the wind. It's not real super strong. It's not like knocking you guys over, but you just feel it. And you can feel some of the sand in that trying to get kicked around a bit. But yeah, you can see up ahead of you. You can still hear it because you're not too far away at this point, but you can hear the thudding and it sounds like movement. And it's just quiet. That's as quiet as it gets, the wind.
So can we see like any foot traffic like from where we're at? Like do we see anyone like moving anything or like
No. You can only hear because unless you get up to the edge and look down, you won't actually be able to see anything right now. Or like if you went up on that pillar of rock that you were looking at, you could get up there and get a vantage point and actually see. I will tell you everything from up there almost. Almost.
All right. I'll climb up the pillar then and try to get a vantage point and get an Overwatch view.
All right. While you're doing that, is Void Striker or Overload doing anything during this moment?
I guess I'd be looking down to see if there's any soldiers that might be like distant from the others.
Well, you'd have to probably get closer to the edge to see, and you're gonna have to. If I will tell you this, anybody who's down lower right now, I know if you two were to try and climb up, I would have to actually have you roll like a stealth to do it, because Gilgamesh is lighter and already built for stealth. You two are bigger, not really built for stealth. But you
I guess
can.
Take overload, not for me.
I think I offended somebody.
Well, I mean, I have my ways around the whole stealth disadvantage thing.
Okay. Do you want to try and get closer while Gilgamesh is getting to the top?
If anything, I'll just ask Gilgamesh since he's already got to do scouting.
All right.
So
Yeah.
Gilgamesh, do you think you can see if you can find any soldiers that might be away from others?
I had my eye looking out for patrols. Getting up to the top, then, do you want me to roll anything, or do you want me to or what do I see?
So how are you going to view down into this ravine? Are you going to use like carbine for it, or are you just using your optics to see?
Well, I guess the question is would carbine give me a better? Well, it should give me a better advantage with the sniper scope, but is it necessary, or can my optics just kind of get like a wide view of the area already?
Let me think. Yeah, just do a perception check on it.
Okay.
Just roll that. We'll see how well it goes. Let's see how the rolls go today on roll 20.
Right.
Oh, not bad. Because you're hidden, you guys will have. I should have said this in the beginning. I forgot. You guys are still hidden from them, so they don't know you're there. You will have advantage right now. So you do have that moment.
Not
Hey,
to mention you said
Major.
that's dark, so
Yeah, it is dark. Yes. Blade Striker. Yes.
I'm gonna do something, don't mind me. This is more or less a on thing, just
Okay.
because I want to. I'm gonna use Disguise Self and basically give myself Desert Camera.
Holy crap.
Okay.
I will actually allow that. You don't. I would say, yeah, you can do that, and I won't count it against your spell slots or anything because you're there, nobody knows you're around, but it will give you a better advantage on, like, you're more hidden now. It's dark, so that's giving you more of an advantage than even Overload right now. He's dark, but on a sandy background, he kind of does still stick out. He
It's
looks
alright,
like a
with the
shadow.
pink and pink, he'll fit just in.
That actually might hide him a little bit.
Pink is actually one of the best colors for Desert Camera.
Yeah, because he's right now he looks like a dark shadow out there, but nobody's looking at him over there. They're right. Everybody's kind of down more into the ravine. So, Gilgamesh, with your roll, you can share the optic view that you see with them, so they can get an idea of who's where, and it kind of like will highlight on your guys' HUD where certain targets are at. So you can kind of see in real time where they're standing at. If you look, say, toward the edge of the ravine, but you can't see into it, you'll see where he's pointing and looking at for those targets to light up. In other words, he's like marking them for you. Ugh, sorry. I had a belch. Ugh. I ate too fast. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh, now I'm getting heartburn. Thanks, Mercer. Blame Mercer for that one. No, but Gilgamesh, right now with everything you just see, even you can see a number of drone Decepticons. I just call them drone ones. They're pretty much the soldiers of Shockwave, and you see at more of the opening of the ravine away from you guys off to the, let's see, that would be your east. You see that's more of an opening there where you see it looks like there's about 4 guards standing and they're looking around. They're keeping, it looks like 2 of them are chatting, but you can't hear them and hear what they're saying. They're just BSing. You see the platform that's near this cave opening. Now the cave opening's pretty good size. Like Void Striker and Overload could easily walk in. But there's a reason why, and you notice it right near the platform. There's cargo being moved by a very large white and purplish bot who has both of his hands though, and seems to be moving cargo. And you see about 8 other drones kind of walking around, pacing around the platform, and 2 are at least by the cave opening, but they're like talking. You suddenly see them stiffen up and straighten up like they're at attention, and you see a very familiar face pop out. And she's saying something to one of them, and you can tell they're both scared. And she yells something at the big purple and white bot, who turns around, and you see this. And Sky's, if you're sharing this with all of them, like the rest of the group, Sky even sees this, and you hear over the comms, "Wave? That's my Shockwave." And he turns, looks at Ava, who is making some obscene gestures and like doing like hurried up, come on motion. And he just nods and goes back to it. Did you want to make any rolls at this time to observe either one of them? Anything on them or what? I'm giving you that option right now because it's like, you got it. Ow, what the heck? What is that? Ah. Sorry, I got a bug in here. What the? Did you get?
Sorry, what were you wanting from me?
You can make a roll of, like, say, perception, investigation on these, especially the Shockwave one. You can get a better view of him. Like, you could zoom in on him, look at him. You could do the same thing to Ava. The rest are just drone bots who are just, like, at attention because they're freaked out by Ava.
I'll use Carbine's help for this so I can get a better close-up view of both Shockwave and Eva.
All right.
I'll do another perception.
All right.
And with Carbine's help, that's a 24.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. You guys are all viewing this through Carbine now, and you notice the magnification is much more detailed, much sharper, and it's brought up a lot bigger. Which one are you looking at first?
Looking at the white Shockwave.
You notice it's moving cargo back and forth from the platform over, like it's putting some empty containers toward the cave opening. And you notice he's moving them, and you guys all notice this. Void Striker, you would notice this little unit that's attached kind of where his one antenna is, but it's more in front of it. And it looks like it's got its own set of antennas, and it looks like it's attached into him somehow. It's what you would notice as a control unit of some sort. Oh, God. Whew.
So he's got some kind of control unit on him.
Yeah. And right now, that's what you guys are seeing. Wavelength is kind of sitting there with Sky, and she's in her little palace cat form, so you could see her fur if you were down there. her fur is kind of getting buffeted around by the wind and everything, but she's sitting there and she goes, that's old technology, but looks like it's adapted. We'd have to examine it closer.
So, without saying anything, he's just going to tag the white shockwave as a non-hostile, and he's gonna move the scope over to Eva.
You see Eva, who she looks a lot like your master, but even Sky comes across. Master? The one that was in my world, my master is different, but they used to call her some kind of master in ours, but that I know her. But is that her? No, it's not her, is it? And she's really confused. Sky is at this moment like, this whole universe thing is so weird. So she's talking to you guys over comms, and she's trying to almost whisper still while she's doing it. And it's like, what is this?
Gilgamesh is like, I don't know if anyone's actually paying attention in the camera, but he's actually lined up a shot and he's got the scope actually pinpointed right at her skull.
Are any of you gonna say anything? Because Sky's distracted right now with looking at Ava, going, wait.
I have the shot.
Time and place. There's always a time and place.
Voice Striker, you ready to fight? uh,
Yeah, if he wants to take the shot, I do have an artillery mode that can follow up his shot.
No, he's. I'm not being serious with that.
I was gonna say, if you wanted to try and take a shot.
No, it's just more for his character.
Something tells me though, something else is in mind for this particular.
You are right. You are right.
Because I'm like, he is not just gonna take her out. I'm like, if you really
want
to,
but he is not above making a joke about it. Just, I have the shot.
Okay. You are goddamn lucky. You see her turning, and she seems to stop and slowly turns, and she kind of looks in where your guys would be at, but she can't see you guys. She just kind of looks, but she pans past all of it, like where you're at, Gilgamesh, Overload, Voice Striker. You're all up sitting up there. She can't see you guys, but it's like she looks around, and then you see her head turn the other way, kind of look around, and then she yells something, and all the guards snap to, like they're at attention for a moment, and she walks back into the cave. And you see all the drones suddenly relax down, but the shockwave you see is just continuing.
Gilgamesh lifts his finger off the trigger.
And you see some of the guards before you do that. Before you see anything, you see the couple of guards at the door. Like, you swear they're going, "What a bit," because they're gesturing toward each other like. And the other guards kind of continue to move around. You see a couple of them or more. They're like on the other side of this rock. They like do this path, and two of them walk around kind of behind this large stones, just like if you crested over the ravine, about probably where Overload and Void Striker would be at. They are kind of in a blind spot there for a moment, so they wouldn't be seen by everybody else down in the ravine. But you notice it's a path they've been walking, and they're coming up again. And you notice this, Overload, you get that marker that you can see them down there. Even Aegis is like, are we going to do a bit of a surprise attack?
That's the idea.
If we're going to try to surprise attack one of those patrols, let's try to keep one alive. I could potentially make it easier for you to get inside.
Me getting inside wouldn't be the problem. It's really getting the rest of you in without
That's
the
what
alarms going off.
that's where the teleporter comes into play.
All right. So, what would you guys like to do? You got a patrol coming up into this blind spot area. And the rest of the guards are kind of just still doing their normal thing. The shockwave is still just moving crates.
I can literally just walk past these guys and waltz right into the base.
It's up to you guys.
I mean, I'm looking
not.
for input, guys. Like, do you want me to do that?
Yeah, team, come
I
on.
mean, we've got multiple ways we can infiltrate this.
Yeah.
Suggestion?
Like, I'm presenting one option where I could
He could
infiltrate
literally
my
walk
way
in.
in.
And
You
there's
could also do a false capture situation. I've disguised self. I can make myself look like one of the Jarns.
Because the thing is that you can get in silently, yes, but you would need to. Well, we would need to find a doorway that counts as a doorway, so that way the teleporter can work. So
I
we
just
at
gotta
least need to
find
be
a
somewhat.
flat
at least-
surface wall, don't I?
It has to be a doorway. Well, door frame.
true.
That's
It still has to
the
be some
current
kind of
downside.
frame, yeah.
That's the current downside of the teleporter, is that it needs to be a door frame to count towards the teleporter. So even if you get inside, we need to be near a door frame as well as you, so that way the teleporter actually activates.
As you guys are discussing all this and figuring this part out, a shuttle comes in approaching. Seems to be coming from a direction that's not in the direction of the space station. So it's an incoming one from somewhere else. And it's landing. The shockwave's just still moving crates. You see one of the drones who's closest to the platform walk over, and he's standing there armed like he's going to do something. But you notice the shuttle lands. The back end of it's toward your guys' direction. So it's made to take off and land out through that ravine mostly.
I'm turning my scope towards the shuttle. Since it's coming from a different direction, is it carrying any unique cargo or any personnel?
I'm glad you asked that question because the doors on the back open up and a ramp deploys down. And you notice there's some unusual crates in it. And it looks like it's almost looks like personnel carrier but modified. And it's not per se carrying personnel. You guys would have to like investigate the containers to tell exactly what it's hauling at this point.
Well, are they like cylinders or are they like cubes, like boxes?
These are more like I would say more like of a cylinder type.
Are they like very tall in comparison to the drones, or are they like maybe like half their height?
How about you give me a perception or an investigation, and I'll tell you.
Well, perception's gonna be my option because my investigation stinks.
Okay, do an investigation. No, I'm kidding.
Nope.
You can do a perception.
Nat 20, baby.
All right, right off the bat, and I will count it for all of you because then you have the assistance of like Void Striker's eyes, as well as Wavelength. Pretty much the entire team, but except for Sky, who's still confused with Ava. And you guys automatically will see one of the tubes get slid out. You see Ava come out of the tunnel again. She walks over. She's making some gestures. You see the drones do snap at attention again. And you see her gesture to the drones, and then you see her, like, doing something with the one who was standing there with the gun, and he's standing there like, he looks like he's arguing with her a little bit.
Looks like we got a VIP on the field.
And you see her turn around for a moment, and then she turns around. You all briefly see a quick strike. Gilgamesh, you would recognize it immediately. She just took his head off. And the drone falls to the ground. The others just. And she immediately looks at the shockwave, says something. The shockwave stops, turns, looks at her, nods his head. And he starts to pick up the container, the cylinder. And you see the cylinder is actually carrying somebody inside, something inside. There's more than one cylinder inside this ship, though.
Stasis chamber identified.
Exactly. As he turns, Ava walks off into the cave. You guys see this. Shockwave turns with the cylinder. The drones are not paying attention to you. They're watching, or not paying attention to him. They're watching Ava walk back into the cave. He stops and he looks right up at you, Gilgamesh. That single, it's like a yellowish optic, staring at you for a moment. He sees you. But then he tips his head back down, and you see his head kind of, almost like he's having a spark moment, like it's, oh, okay, that hurt moment. But then he just carries the cylinder. It's like he just ignored you.
The white one did that, right?
Yep, that's the white shockwave. And he walks into the... You hear the thudding from him, so the thudding sound you're hearing is from his massive steps. He is way bigger than Ava. He's actually probably about a little bigger than Overload and Void Striker. But he walks into the cave pretty easily. Within a few moments, he returns back outside. He starts collecting another cylinder. He turns again, and he kind of looks up, and then he looks right back down, like he knows you're there, but he's not saying anything. And he continues to...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mercer, please.
I was gonna say, I think we might have your way in.
Well, the white one knows that we're here. But
He knows you're there. He doesn't know about the rest of you.
Well, I'm saying that from the perspective of the group because,
Yeah, it's true.
Because if he sees me, he likely has an idea of what's following.
Would you like me to attempt to get as close as possible by disguising myself as one of those drones?
We could split up and take it two routes. I go in invisible, go in infiltrate my way. You use your drone disguise to get close enough and maybe even get inside yourself. As far as the big guy, though, and he's looking at Overload.
Get me close enough to a drone and I could take over his mind.
False prisoner routine?
Yeah, and since it's going to be strange if only one drone is doing so, if I can control another, it should seem more likely.
So maybe he goes with you, Void Striker.
Yes. With this, I'm going to do disguise self and introduce because I'm too big to pass off as a drone, unless I reduce my size.
Drift's like, so I wait here.
With disguise self, I'm purposely going to give myself like a cloak type thing where Drift can hide on my back.
Oh, that's cool. He stays in his turtle form. He just kind of hooks around and hides under there.
I'm assuming that Sky's gonna come with me.
Yeah. He's stealthy like you. Her and Wavelength will stick with you. Wavelength is small like Carbine, so she can actually slip up and hang on to Sky's neck. Like she kind of does, like Carbine does to you, but in Wavelength's case, she's a little bulkier, so it looks like she's got a fur wrap around her neck. It's a little ridiculous just to describe it in my head. So, but yeah. So Sky is kind of near the base where you're up at the top. So she's watching and seeing these markers and stuff. She goes, "Do you think he's under control then? Like, I mean, he acknowledged you, right?" sort of.
I wouldn't quite call that an acknowledgement, but he immediately spotted me. And I'm pretty much blending in with the skyline, so...
Well, he's one of our best and brightest. I hope he's not just... I hope he's not gone to the dark
Guy,
side.
our group can see if we can rescue him if he's under control, because that might be a shock device attached to his head.
Which I actually
Once
have a
we're
bit of a question
inside...
for
Oh, go ahead.
that. If he would be under a like control, would it be like would it be like a spell in a sense or a curse? Just so I know.
What's a device?
I would equate it, honestly, to more like having like a bomb collar.
In a
So
way,
would it
yes.
be like curse?
Like,
so would it
cause
be
like he's
curse?
being coerced like with like the threat of death. Like, that's the way I'm
Okay,
kind of
so
perceiving
then-
it.
And he's also being manipulated and controlled with this device, so he's still
So not really something that would be equivalent to a spell, nor would be like a cursed object.
It
Yeah.
sounds more like a ghost object to me.
Yeah. Okay, that worked. I like that.
It
You guys
sounds
make it
more
make more
cursed
sense
object.
for me because I'm like, spells are just spells. Cursed object's an
Well, it's
actual
'cause
object, and this
'Cause
is an
it
object
sounds
attached
like
to him.
the cursed object, the slave collar from base D&D.
That works
Okay.
because it is an object. So you guys answered that question for me because I was always confused in my head with it. At least that one with this part. Yeah, you taught me something new.
Because with the stuff that you bring about, I'm trying to think: would these be equivalent to a spell, or would it be like a curse of some sort?
This
Like
would
how
be
how it was with how it was with the bomb in the head thing. I wasn't sure if that would be equivalent to a spell or a curse.
Yeah,
Which,
and
if
this
it was a curse back then, I didn't have means to, remove it.
Don't worry, I still
yeah.
fucked that plan up.
Yeah, at least currently now, I have a means to remove a curse.
yes. So in this
I
case,
can actually do something.
yeah. So Sky is more concerned. So can we get that off of him, and maybe he'd be free of it?
Well, we really won't know until we can get a closer look at it. But that's something that we can look into the moment we come in contact with him. Probably removing it from him quicker would be ideal to at least save his life.
I mean, if me and Void can get close enough, I could remove it stealthily.
So as you guys are discussing all this, Shockwave, and I'm going to just call him Shockwave on this one for now because it's easier than me say White Shockwave every time. He's already removed the last canister. There was 4 altogether, and taken the last one into the cave, and he's returned back outside. But this time, instead of taking the empty containers and moving them from there, he's actually putting stuff into the shuttle that needs to go. And it's just the empty containers he just did. So it looks like possible supplies or things that needed to be transferred, and this is going back to where it came from. Ugh. Heartburn.
Well, while they're discussing that, I'm gonna. Can I roll to attempt to make some fake stasis cuffs?
Sure.
What would you like me to roll?
Could I give advantage since I was part of the military for a long while? I would assume I know the design of cuffs, or at least stasis cuffs.
You could try.
Like, would you like me to roll my tinker tools, my smith tools?
Is it you're
Maybe
making?
Smith's tools, I would think. Yeah.
So it's just an illusion, right?
No, I'm gonna make.
Oh, you're gonna make them?
Physical fake cuffs.
Okay. Yeah, Smith tools, because you're making and creating them.
Yeah.
Let's see how well you do. Oh, shit.
Okay, you don't need the advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna automatically almost.
So you're standing there and poof, in a sense, you made them, and just like, dude, that's pretty cool. He's just hanging on
So,
your back under this thing. It's like, oh.
these stasis cuffs to anybody scanning look like they work, but they don't do shit. They're just all bells and whistles.
Yeah, the only way it would be is if they really looked at them. Like, really looked at them. And that's going to be very hard because they're not really looking at that. They're just going to look at him. Okay, he's cuffed. Okay, what's going on here? That's really what's going to happen. Okay, so what are you guys going to do next? Because you got the cuffs, and Gilgamesh is sitting on a rock.
Well, Gilgamesh and Sky's infiltration can happen at any point. This would be a really good point to go for me and Overlord, considering they're a drone down on the surface.
Yeah, but I mean, if those two are ready to go, Sky and I can already go ahead, just go ahead and depart.
Okay. So,
Who
would-
smuggling commence?
who would like to start their little progression first? I'm going to leave this between the two groups here. Because technically it's Dave and Sky, who is really just Dave. And you two. Do you want to start first?
I don't mind starting first.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
I don't
which
mind.
way?
You guys can go first.
So, you two, where do you want to go and how do you want to proceed down into this ravine?
Alright, so what type of pathing do we have to get down?
Well, right now you're at the north side, and I think it's the east side. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta get it in my head. The east side. Jesus, I got it mixed up in my head. No, it's right. East side is the most prominent path. It's also where the shuttle kind of came in through and will probably exit out of, considering it's turned around and aimed that way. And that's where 2 of the drones are right now. Well, 4 of them. The 2 are talking, the other 2 are guarding more. That's all they're doing. They don't do anything. So you can walk down and around.
Yeah, but we'll go that way.
All right, so are you going to make a lot of noise doing this, or are you just going to kind of walk generally down?
Well, if I'm playing as one of these drones, making a lot of noise makes 0 sense for somebody who's meant to be here. I'm just going to walk up with a prisoner. And when I feel like I'm in range, I'm going to then announce myself. Hey, found a guy, radio damaged, type shit, you know?
All right, so...
Because with the Sky Self, I'm going to apply battle damage to myself.
I'd hope so. You had to fight him. So, as you approach down, you see the light from the ravine kind of coming out. And you see the 2 guards. You see the other 2 are kind of like... They're not really looking your direction, but they can't really see you. You're kind of coming out of the darkness. The 2 guards are kind of standing there. They're looking around, but it's almost like they're oblivious to you being there. And for the first moment, the guard closest to you, he kind of... You could see him lean forward like he's squinting his optics. And he goes, "Hey, I think somebody's out there." And you see them readying their guns like they're pulling up to aim at you. And it's like, "Who's there?" And the other 2 behind snap up real quick, and you see 4 of them now. 2 more run up, and the others in the compound are kind of at alert, but they're not aiming. So you got these 4, and he's like, "Who's there?"
I'm going to be continuing walking forward with one hand up and another hand with a gun aimed at the back of Overload. Like, hey, friendly, don't shoot.
"Who are you? Where'd you come from?"
Look, I just lost my entire patrol to this big fucker. Barely managed to catch him, and I'd rather not get yelled at. Do you think I have time to sit here and explain everything?
"Oh, it is one of ours. You lost your whole..." Well, looking at him, and you see the 2, at least 2 of them approach closer. Jesus, he's huge.
Dude, lucky Stonearound took him down. Had barely enough time to put the stasis cuffs on him.
Well, it's a good thing you put them on. And you see him reach up and grab them, and shake them. It's a good thing they're on there good. And he turns like he's gonna say something, and he turns around and he full force hits you in the abdomen, Overload. And his gun kind of dents, like bends a little bit from the impact because you're just standing there.
Go ahead and hit harder. I don't buy.
You see him.
I'm just gonna reveal my teeth.
He back. You do that, and he backs up. This blaster's defective.
I want to get close to him. I watched him rip one guy in half and bite the head off the other one.
You see them kind of take more steps back away. Fine. She'll.
Look at what he did to me. As I emphasize the battle damage.
And they lean around, looking at you more, and they see you, and they're like, just get him inside the cave. She'll deal with him. She's our leader. Yeah, whatever we would call her. It's really a pain in the slagging, but you know, he starts going off with a few things, but the others start laughing a little bit. But they're like, yeah, but they're like, fine.
I'm purposely gonna look around like I'm looking to see if I can get some help. You think that big white guy there could help me? Because if this guy attempts to run, I don't think I can stop him again.
He looks back. Oh, him? We've never actually given him commands. Only, she does. The one, yeah. And they're really nervous saying that. We could try. All he's been doing is moving crates, so give me a second. You stay here and watch him. So he gestures. The other drone looks at him like, are you crazy? And he points his blaster at you, Overload. He's like really nervous. It's like, don't move. Just don't move. You're standing there. You're not moving. And he's just freaking out. And the guy falls backward. The other two start laughing at him because they can see what's happening and hear what's happening. You see the shockwave, this white one, stand up, and he's looking at this drone on the platform. The platform raises the drone up a little bit, and you see his optic flash like he's saying something. And you see the drone just gesturing, come on. So the drone starts walking back, just shaking his head, but then you see from behind the shuttle come around the white shockwave, and he comes up, and you hear the and he stops, and he kind of standing behind the drones, but he's looking right at you, Overload, and his optic is just staring at you, but he's more looking down at you, even though you're kind of still standing up at a little bit of a rise higher than him. And the one drone comes back, and he goes, yeah, surprisingly he listened to me. I'm probably going to get my head chopped off like the other guy did. Don't make her mad while you're here. They're like warning you, Voice Striker.
Hey, man, I'll take the blame for this. I'm already fucked up. If I get offline, I'm already 1 foot in the grave.
Oh, better you than us. We already watched one of ours. You take him in. And the shockwave looks down, looks up at you, Overload. He literally grabs you 2 hands, and he lifts you up, and he turns and starts walking with you.
I'll follow the shockwave.
As these,
I'm just gonna walk in a way where it emphasizes, God, I need a drink after this type shit.
You see one of the drones. Hey, in the one crate, there's some good Energon stuff in there.
I'll do it after I get him wherever the fuck he's going.
They're like,
again,
good luck
I want to
with
be putting a thermal across my throat.
They're like, yeah, good luck. They go back to patrolling, but you see the one drone that hit you, Overload. You both see this, Void Striker and you both see this. He's looking at his, yeah, this is a defective rifle. That's it was. I guess I picked up this one. I'm gonna go get another one. So this shockwave is Overload. You can feel his hands. He's grabbing you pretty tightly, but he's not squeezing you, like trying to hurt you. He's just holding you really tight to keep you from moving. And he's walking forward. Void Striker, you notice his pace is slowed. Not sure if this is from his weight or what's going on. But you can tell that Shockwave is walking forward. You guys are getting past the shuttle, which you can see still needs the rest of the crates loaded up. And you can see a couple of the other drones like, oh great, we have to do this now. And they're coming over to move this stuff. You guys enter the cave, and we're going to flip over to Gilgamesh with Sky. So at this point, Gilgamesh, I'm going to say you're seeing them interact at the entryway. I'm going to roll it back to you. So this way, this is overlapping a little bit. You and Sky are sitting there. What do you want to do? This is really you. He'll follow you.
Well, just gonna go ahead and cast invisibility on myself.
So, because Sky is with you and she pretty much has the same layout and equipment you do almost, she does the exact same thing following your lead.
Alright, and seeing that they're distracted, we're gonna make our way through either around them or if there's like a side entrance so we can slip through, go through that way.
Do you want to come through the other side of the ravine? It kind of slopes down into it, but it's not as easy going as the other side where they're coming in at.
Sure. I mean, it's not
It's
really
less
gonna matter because we're not gonna get seen. So
no, and it's less guarded. It seems down at the other end anyway because of the way it's laid out. Can go ahead and roll a stealth right now, because if you're coming down and she's coming down with you.
27.
Oh, that beats what I have. So, a couple of the drones that are nearby, they see some stuff moving, but they just chalk it up to wind and everything happening. They don't really pay attention to you. So you continue on down. You can see two drones off to your right more, but they're really not paying attention to your direction. It looks like they're more or less kind of hiding out of sight a little bit, but still within somewhat sight of everybody, so that way they can kind of slack off is what they're doing. They're being lazy. And they're not really paying attention to you. Yeah, you're still good. Neither one of them see you. So you can continue on. Do you want to get closer to the cave entrance? Oh, God. Ooh, sorry.
That's where we saw Eva go through, right?
Yep.
Then, yep, that's where we're going.
As you do, you see the white shockwave getting asked by a drone near the platform. And you see the shockwave kind of look at him, do this thing. And you see the drone walking away with shaking its head. And then shockwave kind of steps up and walks around and goes toward them. You have no idea what's happening other than he's going that direction. And Sky's like, what is he doing? And she's looking around, and you can hear through the comms. Did that drone ask him to go over there? Is he not just under the command of her? And Sky's just asking general questions, really, at this point of, is this what's... Maybe he's being controlled that way? Is it just a general thing?
It seems to be, at least on the outside. We don't know the full context of everything just yet.
Well, Shockwave's pretty strong, but he's always been a gentle bot. He never really We've really never seen him get too violent unless he's defending. And you guys can see this. I'm assuming you're approaching closer to the cave entrance at this point.
Yep.
Okay. So I will say that you guys are pretty much. You see the two drones, one on each side of the cave entrance. Do you want to try and slip past them? They're not like directly, like right next to it. They're more out from it.
Yeah, try and slip behind them and make our way in.
All right. Since your stealth is still high, let's see how blind these idiots are. Wow, they are super blind. Holy crap!
I mean,
they're drones.
we
They're not really.
We are also invisible, so
yeah, they really are not perceiving anything. The noise from the wind and just the general terrain. Just they're standing there. You can hear them talk. Man, she's such a bitch. Somebody needs to untighten her bolts every once in a while. She's dangerous. See what she did to the last 3 drones? Holy... You hear them talking for a few moments, and even Sky's like... She just kind of follows you in, just... Okay. As you two are getting in there, you notice the cave is pretty big on the inside as it opens up a bit more. You can see the cylinders are off to the one side. They are stacked kind of like they're upright next to each other. You can see some white misting coming off like they're cryotubes. There's some kind of stasis tube. You can't really see who's in it, but you know there's somebody's in each one of these. The rest of the cave you notice opens up. You see some webbing here and there, and it kind of opens up a bit more into more of a larger cavern, and you see not a whole lot of supplies, but it looks like stuff that has been redone into other crates. And then the empty crates are what like Shockwave outside was stacking and moving. And you can see the stuff, and you see a couple drones who are doing some stuff that looks like they're transferring items from the crates you guys saw outside into these other crates that are more
Can
alien.
I get a closer look to one of those stasis tubes?
Yeah, you're pretty much right near them. He literally just kind of put them just inside. Do you want to investigate on them? You'll have Sky's help along with the minicon, so you're going to have a high either way. So
okay, yeah, because I don't have great investigation, so 15.
No, yeah, you're close enough to these, even with Sky's help. Carbine is sitting there, and she views this, and she goes, "That's a bot in there."
Is there any information on the side of the crate, like some serial number or like any kind of like data that pertains to what's inside?
You see what looks like a status monitor, and it just shows a readout of like health. It's not in the greatest health. Carbine's kind of translating. Even Wavelength kind of goes, "I don't understand this one," and she highlights it in the display. Carbine's like, "That's Energon stats, how much energy they actually have in their system. It's pretty high, but overall it says body damage." And she's reading it very methodic, like medically. Injuries. And this bot's not in the greatest shape, but it has a high Energon content. As you guys are investigating this, you feel the... As you see Overload's back coming at you with 2 hands on each side of him, lifted off the ground as this white shockwave is coming into the cave. And
yeah, I mean, we're stepping to the side to make sure we're not going to get caught or anything.
Yeah, the cave is pretty wide, but you notice that Void Striker, Overload, you guys will all notice this. Every one of you in this moment, he stops again in front of you, Void Striker, and he looks down, and he moves his head, and Shockwave's just looking at both you and Sky for a moment, like dead right on you, and he nods lightly to both of you, and then he tips back up, and he continues to carry you, Overload, straight ahead.
Gilgamesh slowly pulls his palm off of the hilt of his sword.
Sky sitting there. What? That he's there. He's got to be in there. He could have said something right now.
I'd like to know how he can see through our thermoptics.
He has a lot of abilities. I'm not sure if that's something he can do. And you see Overload just being carried in. You see this drone. You recognize him because you see the little cape, and you swear you can see a little bit of a turtle shell underneath it. You know it's Void Striker walking in through the cave entrance. At this moment, Shockwave is still carrying you, Overload. He stops, and your guys are in the center of the cave, and he doesn't drop you. He sets you down. Not hard, just like sets you down, lets go of you very nicely, and he puts his hands at his side, and you hear this voice, "What are you doing in here? You're supposed to be out moving crates." And who is this? Wait a minute. How did you get... You're a prisoner. And you see somebody stepping out of the kind of a shadowy part of the cave. Void Striker, you can see her only kind of from behind Shockwave, so unless you step out from behind, she doesn't even notice
I'm
you.
gonna start standing at attention with her stepping out. Well, with her voice being announced.
She looks up at you, Overload. I remember seeing you before, but through a different set of optics. As she walks up to you, Overload, and she's way shorter than you.
As she's walking up, I'm making my way to get behind her.
Sky's like, where do you want me, or do you want me to stay out of the way? Because she doesn't know how to handle this situation. She's apprehensive because it's somebody she knows, but she doesn't know this one, so she's like, I don't know what to expect. Or she can tag team with you.
I'm concerned she might not put her full effort in, considering it's someone in her life who's kind of an important person to her.
Yeah, that's why I'm leaving it to you, Gilgamesh, to...
So I'm going to just tell her to just be ready, just stay in her position because she'll be in the flanking position.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move behind her.
Yeah, and Sky understands. She goes, understood. I'm not sure how to handle this. She sounds nervous a bit.
Then don't worry about it. You're just gonna let me handle it.
I'll be there to back you up, as always. And you can feel her hand on your shoulder. It like she slides her hand up, and she just grips real quick and then slides it back, like letting you know, hey, I'm still here. It's just nerve-wracking. So, Overload, you've got Ava standing in front of you, and she looks you up and down. You've grown since the last time I've seen you, big boy.
I think you just shrunk.
Cute. And you can see her slowly pull out a blade, and she starts looking at it, and she goes, so you got captured by who and how? I don't think it was him. So, and she's looking over. She doesn't even pay attention to you, Void Striker. She just sees Shockwave again, just standing there. She really doesn't care. And she's walking around you, Overload, and you can feel her blade gently running around you, just lightly touching you.
Well, as she's doing that, I'm gonna go, ma'am, my unit captured her.
And she stops and she goes, and who are you? And you see her lean over a little bit and her head tilts. And you see her face and she's got little fang-like teeth. And she's, really? Your unit?
I'm the last surviving member of a desert patrol unit. My name is unimportant.
So your name is unimportant, so I shouldn't worry about chopping your head off? Maybe play with your
Ma'am,
spark a little?
in the grand scheme of the plan, everyone is unimportant.
Hmm. Spoken like a true drone. Useless as always. Ah. Okay, she's still oblivious. Jesus. She has high stats to perceive a lot of stuff. She actually is not perceiving. She's coming very close to both you, Gilgamesh, and you, Void Striker, figuring out what's going on. But she's not there yet. It's like, nope, you guys are getting so lucky right now.
So Gilgamesh has pulled 2 of the stasis throwing knives, and he's got them blade down, and he's holding them up ready to actually stab her with both of them
and
as soon
currently
as she catches wind.
Yeah, currently she has no idea you're there. And Void Striker is this drone. And she hasn't even seen his bloody cuffs, even though she's been right on top of Overload, which has been hilarious. So, Ava approaches you, Void Striker, or, unknown, useless,
Drone number 238.
drone whatever comes out of her mouth very rudely. So, looks like you've taken a beating. And she puts her finger up under your chin. Now, you're still a little shorter. Did you reduce your size down, right? To be
Yeah.
like the... So you're shorter than her by just a little bit in your form. And she puts her finger under your chin. I like a feisty one who can take a few beatings. And she runs her finger across some of the fake scars. But you were able to capture this one. Was there anyone else with him? He usually has a band of ragtag scrap with him.
Negative, ma'am. Thought I brought him in for questioning. If he does have friends, I'm sure you'll find out.
This isn't good. If he's here, that means the others are probably nearby. And you're sure you didn't see anything?
Ma'am, couldn't see crap with him attacking me, ma'am.
Good point. He seems a little more, scaly than the last time I saw him. Now, what to do with
Caution
him?
you around his mouth, ma'am. He bit my friend's head off.
And she slowly turns her head and looks back at you. Bit his head off, It seems like you've stumbled into a new low. Overload.
I'm just gonna show a toothy grin. Survival of the fittest, you could say.
Too bad you're not on our side. We'd have so much fun together. As she runs her hands across your stomach and across your arms. And she snaps her fingers, and the 2 drones that are in the cave stand to attention. Yes, ma'am. And they leave. Shockwave's still standing there. Gilgamesh, where are you standing at about now?
I'm right behind her, and I'm trying to target in between where her shoulders would be and the base of her neck, and he's gonna come down right between those 2 areas with the stasis blades.
You see Shockwave look right down at you, and he nods up and down like, yes. And he's not saying anything, he's just shaking his head like, yes. Overload, you're standing there. Ava's coming around you. You feel...
Quick question.
Yeah.
With Shockwave, is he still physically touching me?
No. He's about maybe 10 feet from you. But he's kind of aimed in your direction because Ava's there, and Gilgamesh is behind her, which is just on the other side of you.
I was kind of hoping he was still like apprehending me. in a sense.
No, Ava's touching you though, very inappropriately.
By the way, I'm gonna act like a really confused drone. Like, was I meant to leave when she clicked? Am I gonna stay here? I'm gonna stay here for safe until she tells me to leave.
Yeah. She turns back around. So you have caught a prize for me. That means he may be nearby. Go out and tell the rest of the drones to stay alert. We may have company.
As I do this, I'm gonna grab the fake controller to Space's cuffs and hand it to her. Then you might need these, ma'am.
Prefer to leave him on him. And she takes it from you, and she sets it on a crate nearby. And she just grins at you, Overload. This is going to be fun to torture you. We'll wait for your buddy to show up.
I'm gonna just turn around and walk towards the entrance of the cave. What they do in the cave, that's no longer my problem. And I feel sorry for her. What's gonna happen to her?
I'm gonna go ahead and just, as she's talking about torture, just kind of like do a slight step back, like trying to like seem like it's out of a bit of fear.
And she's sitting there, oh, what, afraid now? As she gets closer.
Have we cleared the room of drones?
Yeah, everybody's gone. The only one that was left was Void Striker, who is the other drone. And it's just you guys.
I'm just gonna try to like back up slowly, like head towards Shockwave, but not like trying to make it too obvious.
She's like, oh, he's not going to protect you. You, sit down. You can watch. And you can see the Shockwave take a few steps back, and he sits on crates, which his weight kind of crushes a little bit, but he sits. And he stares at you both. And you guys can physically tell he's actually trying to resist whatever's happening, because you can see his hands move every once in a while like he's trying to fight. Ava turns, he won't do anything for you, and she gets closer to you as you keep backing up.
As she gets closer, I'm going to stab her with both the knives right in between those points.
I won't even have you roll for anything for this. So you're using 2 of them, right?
Yep.
So
and I'm hitting vital areas as well.
I'm assuming you said you were going for her neck as one of them, right?
So like in the point between where the shoulder blade is and the neck, like that, where the collarbone kind of is, like I'm sinking in like right into those points.
Okay. Is that? I'm assuming that's both blades then, correct?
Yep. Like yeah, one on each side.
All right. With that, you're coming uncloaked at this point because you're hitting her and contacting with her. Overload, you're seeing this. Is there any?
I make a decisive move, move really close to Shockwave?
Yes, you can. Allow it.
Because what I would like to do is move directly close to him and have my foot touch his to then activate remove curse.
As you, Gilgamesh, hit her, she can't scream. You hit her vocal box as well. And she immediately, in a sense, almost becomes limp in your arms as you're pressing down with these blades. Her optics are wide, but she can't move. She can't do anything. She's just still.
You were a little too slow on catching on that he had a partner with him. You should have known better.
You just see her optics blink a few times, like...
He's gonna... Now that the blades have sunk in and they're doing their thing, he's gonna walk around so he can see her face to face.
Yeah, she's gonna be like that for a while because you hit her with 2, so you're good. Overload, you touch Shockwave, and during this whole thing, he hasn't moved. You see the device on his head spark, and you see his head jerk like it hurts. and you see him reach up and rip it off of his head. Sky comes running around. She decloaks, and she kind of slides a little bit, and you see Shockwave turn to you, Overload, and he goes to reach up and grab you, but he puts his hand on your shoulder. Thank you, Senator. Oh, you're not my senator. Sorry. And he holds
You're
up
fine.
he holds up the
Still
broken
good to
control.
hear that, though.
It has been a long time since I have been free. Oh. Sky, you are here too? You are my Sky. You look different. And Sky is literally just, yes, it's me. He changed me. It's a long story. We'll have to fill you in later. Are you operational? And he kind of looks at his hands. Now, this Shockwave has both hands. And he kind of looks around at you guys. I thank you for my release. I feel fully functional. And you see him flexing his fingers. It's nice to think for myself again.
I'm always glad that protocol actually worked. First time actually using that.
As well as I. Is it Overload here still, or are you...
Yes, I'm still Overload, just not a senator.
You seem different.
I mean, what was it, the scales that tipped you off?
Yes, I think so. It is interesting, though, to see all these perspectives. Can you guys give me just 1 second? I'll be right back. Oh my god.
Okey
Bad timing. Entertain chat.
Eh,
That was
Hey,
a
what's up?
good infiltration.
yeah. I was kind of
I'm
expecting
trying
a bit
to
more
get it
resistance,
done.
but maybe we'll have that up on the
I'm
station.
trying to get it done as fast as I
Oh,
can.
that's where I reckon most of the resistance is gonna be.
Yeah.
At what
Yeah.
time? Oh, shit.
I'm gonna have fun with these drones, I thought I can tell you that
Okay,
much.
Oh, I can make all of them fall under our will.
I'll
very
see what I can
quickly.
do. I don't think I'm going to be done by 6.
But mine's in a different way.
I mean, I already have what I need. It's right in front of me. Yep.
Hello?
Ooh, wait, I actually just thought of something fun.
Yeah, the time of things. You guys get to hear my phone
Ooh,
call.
I just thought of something really fun.
And with that,
I have another third spell, a third tier spell I can use here.
Ooh.
But it requires a specific requirement though.
Do
and that
you
is
have what you need to make that
Uh,
happen?
I mean, yes, in a sense. It just takes one more step. In which I feel like that you're gonna do very soon. It's gonna benefit us, I can say that.
Is that gonna be before or after I kill Eva?
After.
Oh, okay.
there's something I do want to do with Eva before you kill her, if you don't mind.
Kill her, kill her.
Because the only problem that would be left would be that I would have no more third level spells, but that's fine.
I mean, that's up to you if you want to spend that, but I mean,
I mean,
Yeah.
I can also spend my channel divinity to recharge it.
well, I guess it also depends on how much time we're gonna have between the shuttle ride to get up to the station if there's a short rest involved.
Do I recharge after a short rest, or does it have to be a long rest?
Actually, spell slots are a long
Change.
rest, so yeah.
It also
Okay.
depends on how
changeable
Matrix will do it, because it is DM specific as well.
Yeah, because he could just say like we take a bunch of energon to top ourselves off or something.
Well, I know where a crate of high quality energon is, so
You've heard, remember that. So, I'm gonna have to take my son here very quickly to a thing, but we can keep going for a little bit. So,
Okay.
plans changed real fast suddenly. Stream heard me.
no.
It's like, oh, it was supposed to start at 6. That's like 10 minutes from now. I thought you were coming home to get him things. No. So, don't worry. It's all right. He's going to a party thing after it, so. Yay, senior stuff. Graduation.
Graduation.
Yeah. So, what do you want to do? Or you guys were talking with Shockwave for a moment, and he's grateful that you guys freed him. You guys do notice that his attitude is not like whatever stories or encounters you've had with your version of Shockwave.
I'm gonna walk back in at this point, by the way, because I didn't actually properly leave. I just left
Yeah.
far enough away.
Yeah, that's fine. I kind of figure, I'm like, he's probably not going to go all the way out. If he does, he could entertain the two by the door, which didn't hear crap, by the way, because she didn't get a chance to scream. So,
Oh, by the way, as I'm walking back, I'm purposely gonna try and do it in her line of sight.
she can see you guys. She's aimed more that direction because Shockwave came in. So, his back is to you. Shockwave's looking around, and he kind of looks around, and he goes, I did see both of you. I didn't say anything because I was not ordered to. And he kind of tips his head, order specific. You swear he's trying to raise an eyebrow like he's trying to be cheeky, but he's like, He hears you walking up, Void Striker. Are we going to have a problem? And you see his fist ball up like he's going to punch Void Striker. And Sky's like, no, he's with us. It's okay. A drone is with you guys?
I'm just gonna look at Eva and just go. Yeah, I see you're still falling for the simplest of strategies. As I just deactivate, reduce, enlarge, and disguise self.
Her optics, when you approached, went wide. Like, how dare you? And then now you swear they're popping out of her metal skull at this point, going, what? Like, who? What? But she can't say anything. She's just laying there. And
You must be very confused.
you see Shockwave stand up immediately. Void Striker, you're here? When did they get you?
I am Void Striker, but I'm not your Void Striker.
You look... And Sky chimes in, yes, he looks similar, but this is a different Void Striker. He's just as good. It's okay. He's friends. These are all friends of ours. And he looks around. Interesting.
I'm gonna press a button on my wrist to just deactivate the fake safe, so hopefully I can finally move his arms.
Actually, Overload could probably have broken them just by going clink and moving his...
Absolutely, but this is just more of an effect for Eva's sake.
And she looks over, you can see her optics move, and it's like... And you swear she's trying to say something, but she can't say anything right now. And you guys are just standing there, and Sky is, like, happy to see her Shockwave. And you can see her run up and jump up and give him a big hug, and he hugs, which is weird. Because you guys have never seen or heard Shockwave be affectionate in any way. And so he's like, he puts his hand out to shake your hand, Overload. I still thank you for your release of this thing. And he wants to shake your hand.
With my cuffs still on, just gonna like shake his hand like.
What cuffs? I just
Yeah,
deactivated
he deactivated
I know.
them. They shake off
know.
and they fall to the ground. There you go. It's like, and he just watches them. Very good deception. Nice. Brilliant minds. Now,
then.
yeah, they're all, he's like, yeah. And you swear he wants to hit her, but he's like, not my world. Even though she caused me strife, this is not mine to deal with. Even though I want to. And he just kind of takes a few steps back. He puts his hands behind his back, standing there very proudly looking. And he goes, I will leave this to your decision. This is your universe. Although, and he kind of looks around for a moment. This may be my universe now, or our universe, Sky. Um,
I'm gonna
and she-
take the crossbow off my left arm and offer it to him. You'll need a way to defend yourself.
he puts his hand up. Oh no, it's okay. And he takes both of his arms, and both of them turn into arm cannons, very similar to the ones, but he's got dual ones. And he goes, "I'm already modified to handle that situation if need. I'm good." You think he's got to be grinning right now because of the way he said it. So he's just standing there, and he transforms them back into his hands. He goes, "I don't like to use violence all the time, though. But in this case, we might need to, correct?"
Well, Gilgamesh, how do you want to deal with that? As I point to Eva.
He's already just still staring down at her limp body.
And she's looking around, then she looks up, and her optics go wide again. She's looking right at you, like, "What are you going to do to me?"
He's not saying a word. He's just staring down at her, looking into her frightened eyes, remembering what she did to Serenity Village.
Sky kind of grabs hold of Shockwave's hand, and she goes, "Why don't we leave them to this? This one is their fight, and their..." And he finishes revenge, and he's like, "Very well," and he turns and walks. They don't go all the way to the entrance. They just kind of stop nearby, and she kind of turns back before they get too far away. "We'll keep watch." And
Before they leave, he's gonna call the Sky, just Sky.
And
I'm sorry.
she nods to you, and she kind of just turns and keeps walking.
His attention turns back down to Eva.
Who's freaking out. You can see she's trying to move her body, but she can't. She's like fighting to try and move, and she can't.
He's gonna wrap his fingers around her throat, pick her up, and start to walk towards the wall.
Which isn't too far. There is a pillar right nearby that you can use if you want.
Gilgamesh, you don't mind if I do a live extraction of her teacog, do you?
Oh my god.
He plants her up against the wall and turns to look to Void Striker. By all means.
I'm assuming you want her alive when I'm done.
For now.
Oh god, you're gonna make me describe it. Ooh.
I'm going to look at her and go, this is going to hurt you a lot.
Yeah, because she can still feel pain.
I'm going to help gain access, I'm going to use heat metal on my claws.
Ouch. Okay.
Oh,
I'm just going to go in from basically the right side, what would be underneath somebody's ribcage, and go straight for the T-cog.
so I have an additional question for this then.
Go ahead.
Would she need to roll a con save or some sort to stay away?
Well, she is, in a sense, she is paralyzed right now, and she can't move a thing. And I will tell you this: she might not stay awake for it fully, unless you guys plan on doing something to keep her awake.
Well, the reason I say that, Aura of Protection, giving a bonus to saving throws on whatever, so I can help her in staying coherent, plus guidance to help with that ability check.
Oh my god. Okay. It doesn't affect
I,
the stasis, so
I'm helping in a slightly worse way, but I'm also not being fully in contact.
alright.
You know what? I want to do one thing on top. Because of what I'm doing, I would like to roll a medicine check to do it in a way where it causes as much pain as possible without having her pass out.
Oh my god.
Can I roll a medicine check for that?
If you want, go for it at this point. Oh
21, let's go.
Let's go.
So you're all three standing there. Carbine's like, Wavelength is with Sky, and she's like, I don't want to see what they're gonna do to her. And Drift's like, dude, can I get some action? They're all the mini cons are like, let them have their fun first.
Yeah, because once I've got the successfully detached her T-Cog, I'm just gonna rip it out the hole I made. And
Alright.
show her her own T-Cog.
All right. Well, you haven't gone for a spark, so okay. Oh God.
And the reason I use heat metal
That's on
is
purpose.
Yeah.
the reason I use heat metal on my claws, so I can cauterize any energy on links as I go. So she doesn't bleed out.
Okay. Gilgamesh, you're holding her there. She is literally just limp hanging there. You can see her like this look on her face, like she's but she can't say anything.
He holds her head so she's looking at him.
She's kind
This
of.
is for all the pain you caused and all the death you served the Serenity Village.
So, Void Striker, how are you? Are you violently impaling? Or are you slowly torturing?
Oh, I've got to do it slowly, because if I do it violently, there's a chance I will damage her spark chamber, considering how close the T-Cog sits.
At this point, you rolled pretty good. So, either one would. What would be the most painful is what I figure you guys are going for. So,
Which would be the slow option as well. It's also the
Okay.
safest one to keep her alive.
so your claws start to touch, and she's wincing in her eyes, and she's trying to say something, and you're just slowly drilling in, and you can see a little bit of energon here and there, but then it kind of dissipates, and you're literally just opening up her side, and you can see her optics are just rolling in the back of her head, almost, kind of thing, and you guys can start to hear her kind of talk. Please stop. And she can't make full words all the time, so she's in pain, and she can't move still, but she's kind of trying to scream and talk. As you slowly, oh so slowly reach in there, and you can feel her T-Cog, and you have your fingers around it.
And he's whispering just little taunts into her ears, essentially.
Void Striker, how do you want to remove this?
With a surgeon's precision, by using the very ends of the my clawed fingers to just disconnect every wire.
Are you doing it subtly, like gently in a way, like you're just flicking at them?
I'll do it gently around the T-Cog, because I want it as intact as possible.
All right, so your nails are just flick, flick, and she feels every bit of this pain. Flick, flick, and she's just wincing. You can hear her trying to scream and make sound, And you can see her face kind of distort, like she's getting mad instead. You're nothing. You were supposed to die with them all anyway. And you can see a bit of energon kind of dribble out of her mouth on the side. You get to the last little nerve line. I'm going to call it a nerve line because that hurts. You flick it and the TCOG is free, but not out yet. How do you want to take it out of her? Like, how do you...
Slowly.
So, TCOGs, they can be small, but they're not exactly, well, easy. So you start to pull out, and you can feel your hands pulling through other parts. As you pull this out, and you see the sides where the opening was, kind of open up more on her.
Oh, I'm about to cause irreversible
Oh, that's close.
damage to her without dealing any damage. I'm going to cure her as I'm leaving the wound with the TCOG.
And just before he rips it out, Gilgamesh is gonna say one thing to her. You were better off pleading for your life.
You're a worthless piece of scrub. That's all that comes out of her mouth. You're nothing but a piece of slag. You're nothing. You should never have
I have
survived.
something I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna use Vicious Mockery and go, and you're nothing but a little girl.
She turns and looks at your optics. I am stronger than you. How?
If you were, a situation would be reversed.
Carbine kind of pops into your head, Gilgamesh, just real quick, and she goes, is she a clone?
We need to know for sure. Is there any way we can, like, quickly assess if she's a clone? Like...
Why do you think I went for the TCOG?
So, Void Striker, you can do a quick examination on that TCOG. Clones
I
can
very
have
much
them, but
will.
they're unique. So,
What would you
So-
like me to roll?
user would be you need to investigate it and check it out.
Whoa.
So her TCOG, you're holding like you could hold it between
Do I-
like 3 fingers.
Do I have advantage?
Do you have advantage? You're not
I'll
being
help
distracted. You're not being distracted by anything, and you have 3 mini cons along with 2 other big bots.
Cool, then I'll add that on top of the 14 for a 19.
And
Yeah,
then
that's-
yeah.
Alright, I got a D4 I need to add. Let's go.
Jeez.
So, dirty 20, let's go.
Oh my god. Okay, so all that. Oh Jesus. I think you guys want to be sure this isn't a clone.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
you could
really
have
do.
You could ask Shockwave, and he would have just
mean-
turned around and said yeah or no. It's,
I mean, it's gonna be a lot more impactful if it isn't.
you all look at this. Even like Carbine's like looking at it, they go, "Oh yeah, that's not fake. That's not a clone. See, there's the serial number." And you can see it read off, and it's coded, and it's like clones can't have that. They're all a specific number. Ours are designated.
I'm going to simply hand Gilgamesh her TCOG.
It's not. It for you, Gilgamesh. It would kind of fit, sort of in your palm. It's kind of small. It's not real big,
Hmm.
and it's nice and kind of looks nice and shiny-ish.
I'm then going to eject Scamper and basically give Gilgamesh command to Scamper for a bit. Have fun with the scraplet. I've done
This
what
is
I want
worse.
to do.
This is
I'm
worse
walking
than
away
the
now.
ship. This is worse than the ship. Oh my god! I let you guys have fun. Woohoo!
I said,
She's-
it's my fault. I'm walking away now.
She's
I
able to.
haven't done anything yet.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Yet,
yeah. That's what I'm worried about. Are you gonna shift the planet?
No,
mine's more
but what I
tame,
am going to
frankly.
do, since she's left into my hands, um, I want to initiate a broadcast throughout the facility to any drones that might be patrolling or in the area. Oh, did you want me to?
You can.
Okay. So he's gonna go ahead and
I was gonna-
bring up a visual of himself. What's the name of this location?
I just called it Desert Planet because I didn't really want to give it a name.
Right, but like, does the base like have any kind of a name to it or anything?
Oh, the transfer site. That's really
Yeah,
all it
like,
is.
well, just some way like
It's-
I can address the people that are in the facility.
Oh, it's just you can call it transfer site because that's literally all they use it as. Just transfer site.
Transfer site Delta, D for desert.
Yeah, there you go. We'll add the D for Delta. There you go. Desert. Like that. Nice one, voice. There you go. See? Easy.
All right. So then he's going to address them. Attention, transfer base Delta. You've now been liberated from the control of Shockwave and are now under Koga control. You will agree to work with us, and we will peacefully let you live and leave this place. However, if you are sympathetic to the Shockwave who was in control of this base, and he's gonna pick up Eva and hold her limp body up, you can ask your leader how they felt about that. Can't imagine very well.
Sky kind of comes running back to you guys, and you see Shockwave standing this time. He was sitting next to her at the near the entrance. She goes, there was a lot of activity outside, and now it's really, really quiet. And she goes, we kind of poked our heads out. Nobody's there now. All the drones are gone. Is this a trap or something? Like, weirded out.
No. I just encourage them to leave.
Ava's just hanging there. Her optics kind of shift towards Sky. You. How did you survive? You escaped his base. And you see her spit up a little bit of energon. This guy's like, who? What? And she's really confused. You mean you were at the base I was at? I didn't see you. Dave was like, useless as always. And her optics kind of roll back. Like you could see him visibly just doing the wild things that can. And she is in pain still. Even though you healed her, she doesn't have a TCOG, so she can't transform. She starts to move a little bit, though. Her arms start to move a little more, like she's moving her hands. I should have killed you when I had the chance, but she protected you.
And you should have faced me in true combat instead of sending a clone.
Oh.
You and I could have faced this and had it out in true combat. Instead, you had to cheat. So in turn, I turned the game back on you. And here you are.
I need you to all three.
T-cogless
Go on.
and broken.
I need you to all three make a perception check real quick.
Whoa.
Oh no. Overload's got it.
Holy
Yeah.
crap!
I'm not doing anything, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
you're really observant, right? Overload. You immediately see her one arm closest to you reach back and grab a blade and try to stab at Gilgamesh.
Is she
Shotgun.
moving slow
Bang.
enough for me to see this?
Yeah, in a way, but Overload sees it before you. Overload, is there
The
anything
shotgun bang to the arm.
you? Oh,
I
shit.
just imagine Overload just coming up, grabbing the arm and point blanking me
Yeah.
with the shotgun.
I was honestly just gonna take the Dark Star Saber and just stab it right through her hand.
Oh, this seems a little more entertaining too. You know, either one works. Holy shit. You hear a shot go off as you see the blade come up, Gilgamesh.
Plus,
Oh shit.
I'm gonna say it is with the non-lethal rounds that I had.
Ow.
So it's gonna cripple her, but it's not gonna blow off the arm. She's not
Okay.
gonna be able to wield that sword.
The blade glows flying after the shot goes off, her arm goes back, and she winces in pain. And she looks over at you, Overload. You big fool. You could have been with us. Would have been great.
Yeah, but Decepticon work is not my thing.
Useless as well.
I mean, I can easily make you useless. How do you feel about being a Terracon?
Her optics go super wide. No! Look at what happened back at the village, and she locks eyes with you, Gilgamesh. It was nothing personal. Understand, we all have to do certain things.
And you know better than anyone that there are lines that even criminals do not cross. A standard of conduct, even for those who are making their living by breaking the law. You broke that conduct when you murdered innocent civilians.
Oh, please. They were all Autobots or Decepticons that ran away. It wasn't like they were missed.
And who were you to decide that?
Look, it was nothing personal. Just business.
And so I hope you understand everything we've done here. You made personal.
My sister will not let me die. So, go ahead.
No. Maybe she won't. But I'm gonna leave her, you, this crippled body, and I'll let her decide what to do with you. I should just kill you right now. But again, you forfeited the right for an honorable death when you decided to send a clone after me. You should have been there yourself. You forfeited all that. Now you're going to be at the mercy of those whom you wronged, and you will be powerless to do anything about it.
Well, I would have to sit in front of the council and be judged there, wouldn't I? There is that new council, right? And she kind of, like, she's smirking like, I am going to get
Oh.
away with this.
You mean the one who, your one silent dissenter in the council, whom I dealt with already?
Her smile drops. Carbine kind of, Gilgamesh? I did make a quick call, and she pops up a little video screen, and it's your master. It's Widow. And she looks and she goes, Carbine, could you please put up a video screen? And you can hear this You're all hearing this now. And Carbine's like, yes, ma'am. Like, very respectfully. Pops up a video screen. Oh, hi, sister. See, I told you she would save me from you. And Widow is just looking like she does not give a damn at all. Like, she's not showing any emotion. You've caused harm to all of us. You've caused harm to anyone who was innocent. Our home is dying, and we're trying to save as many as we can. The universe has been dying for a long time. And you are not my sister. You are just a piece of scrap that can be melted down. But sister, please, come on. You had to put me in front of the council. There's no council for you. Thank you, Carbine, for putting me through to this. Do what you need to, Gilgamesh, the rest of you. She kind of looks around on the video screen, like looking at each one of you.
So the
I'm not
sentence is execution.
It is your choice. But she's not to come back to Cybertron. And if she does, the execution will happen. Not by the council. And she pulls out a blade, and you see Ava's eyes just go wide. The optics just start, and she tears up. You didn't destroy the blade. No, I didn't. You come back here, if you survive. This'll be the last blade you ever see if you do. She sets it back down in the drawer, and you hear the drawer slide closed. Good luck on your missions. Little one, Gilgamesh? And she grins at you for a moment. This is your
Master.
discretions. I'm leaving it to you, all of you. And she nods to all of you. Be safe. And the comms cut. Carbine kind of, sorry, she wanted to know when you caught her. She kind of wanted to have her last words with her. That's all.
Fine. I actually was somewhat planning on sending her back, but since she'd rather deal with it over a communique, I have no issue with it either.
Then Gilgamesh, since this is more or less your choice, how do you want her to be executed? We all have various ways to do it. I have a way that stops her from being brought back in any way, shape, form, or kind if you'd like.
And like I said, I can make her a Terracon.
Oh my god. Her optics look at you again over like, no! She's freaking out from it.
Somehow, that seems like a more interesting punishment.
And she'd have no will of her own and to listen to whatever we have to say.
If that's the case, when this is over, bring it back to the station. I could use a guinea pig.
So, as we're discussing all these various options, which of these seem to frighten her the most?
The Terracon thing, because she would literally be a...
Because as I say guinea pig, I am literally going to flash my rust plague needles from my hand.
That, oh my god, that actually would be more terrifying than... I forgot about your rust needles. Those are much more devastating.
Because the thing is, as well, is that technically I can do that too.
Oh, shit. See, so you guys have your choice. I can leave it up to you if you want and let you play with the more torturous sides of things. The rust is pretty nasty. It can be a release, like Void Striker did with Artemis, but it can also be very painful, especially if
depending on where I inject her, it could also be a very long process.
So, I mean, it's up to you guys if you want to take her back to the station in a very incapacitated state, which
Or just turned her into a zombie. Who,
which
by the way, I can just constantly control her because it's a 24 hours of her being under my control. And a long
well,
rest is 8 hours.
and Sky goes, well, we can get her back to the station incapacitated in another way, and then you guys can do whatever it is you're gonna do. She does a kind of like a shady movement with her hands. Um, what if we got somebody out of the stasis tube? We could stick her in there.
There's
Shockwave.
another
Is
way to
that?
make her more crippled.
And respectfully, we don't really know what's in those stasis tubes, and we don't really want to risk an innocent life over hers.
Shockwave is sitting nearby, and he's hearing all of you. And he turns. He kind of looks. Well, they are just in stasis. They're not dead, but they are not in the greatest of physical shape.
All the more
They're
reason not to pull them from stasis just to satisfy this.
very good point. So I can help them. You guys deal with that, but where are we going now? And he's very confused, like where to now? Look, like kind of just sitting
We
here.
need to get on board the station.
And he leans over, looks out the opening. He goes, "The shuttles are pre-programmed."
How long until the next one departs?
Well, this one's supposed to depart, but that one's taking supplies out. The next one should be here, and he kind of hear a little beeping for a moment. In about an hour. And
And
he
that's the one they're expecting to depart with cargo?
that's the one that will come in. That's the one that's supposed to be coming from the station to here. That is he goes because he still was cognitive during this whole thing. Looks over the stasopods. Those are supposed to be loaded into the shuttle that will be coming. That will go back to the station. I
So, are there
only
any more empty stasis pods?
He kind of looks around and he points over at the back walls. Do you see some just sitting there that there's nothing in them? And he kind of
Alright.
goes,
So we stick her in one of them and turn it on, and then we get Gilgamesh in one, but don't.
We could modify one to have a false on positive.
Just as long as they'll give us the clearance to board, assuming that they're gonna scan for cargo. As long as we have the tubes in here, then they should just assume we have everything that they're looking for.
and he chimes in. He goes, yes, the shuttles, depending on what they deliver, are to specific hangars. One is the stasis tubes and specific cargo. The other one was personnel transport, but I don't know that one. I only remember seeing briefly when I was transported temporarily to the station in the hangar, watched the pods be taken out, and then transported here.
We can slip through either way easily enough, but the quicker the better. So if we need to jump on board with the cargo, then we can make do with that.
But
So
Yeah.
we
those
set up
was-
2 false positive pods so you and Sky can go up.
Hmm?
Well, I mean, above game, don't we all need to be on there in order for the portal thing to work?
It would be
only one person needs to be on there, and if we can find a doorway on where we are currently, as long as you set up your portal first and then we set up ours on the other end, we can come to the station freely. It just won't be the other way around, but we have a way to get off station. being the
So you want to use it as an exit, not your entry.
yeah. We'll use my device to get me and Void in, so that way
Okay.
all of us will be up there, and then we can use your device, which is only a one-time use, but it will get us all out.
Okay.
Or if need be, call reinforcements in, and I can go into my own mode and fly as fast as possible to get us the fuck out. Remember, I've got access to my gunship mode again.
Yeah.
So you have options.
Yeah,
What would-
but I mean, we'll pretty much go with that plan of using the portal for them to get on the station, and then I'll use mine to get everyone off.
Because
Oh.
that's the
time's right.
another reason why wavelength is with Sky. So once it's down, wavelength can inform me, and I can just do overload.
Because another thing would be, are we going to be getting our entire army to the station, or is it just us?
I'm assuming it's just us because I mean, above game, I'm seeing this station as like kind of a bit of a waypoint. Like
Mhm.
this
Okay,
isn't like his true base. I don't
The
believe it to be.
the reason I say that is because if we want our entire army to get there, then me and Void would have to go back to the Black Station.
Well,
To then,
that's why I don't think we're calling in the army.
I
Just
don't need to go to back to the Black Station for mine.
no, it's so that we can get the entire army to come in through the
Yeah,
through the
I don't
gate.
need to. I just need a location for a space bridge to open up. And
Uh,
a sufficiently powered one, like the one of Velocitron, does not need another space bridge to tell it go to another space bridge. It can just come to our coordinates.
okay.
So if need be, I can call in the Autobot veterans that I've recruited to come in as a ground strike force for the station, or even some of the veteran seekers, or the aerial bots that I managed to recruit.
Yeah, you've got aerial bots, seeker bots. You've got a lot of crews.
yeah, he's got
ready.
his people that he can call in. I got my people I can call in. So
And I got
like,
my
just
and then I
depending
got
on the
my primal brothers.
situation, like we just have to adapt on the fly.
Yeah, you
Like,
all
do
have
you
some.
want some backup for this station fight? Like, because again, I could call in probably like a squad, like 6 people to help back us up.
Well, okay, I guess the first thing we need to really establish is what are we doing on the station? Are we information grabbing? Are we like trying to blow the station? Like, what's the objective?
I actually don't
Because
quite
no matter what we
remember.
do on the station, it is going to alert Shockwave. Let's be honest. So no matter what we do, it's going to alert him.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys are sneaking in, and if you can successfully get in, you can stealth for a little bit, depending on who you
I'll
are.
say we let Gilgamesh and Sky do the stealth as much as they can,
And you guys
but
can
prepare
literally.
the portal literally for when things go south, immediately put down on our end, and then go through with that extract team.
Yeah, you can do that. It's up to you. So, what are you guys going to do to get going here on this part?
I mean, I'm fine with my role. Just tell me when you want me to put down the portal device. Do you want me to wait until we get caught? Do you want me to like place it and
I'd say
then?
place it, but then wait. When you get caught, tell basically wavelength to tell me that you guys have stealth has been blown. We put down our version and then we come through. Because that way the portal is down and ready to go, and all we have to do is place down our side.
Yep, I'm fine with that because I'll just drop it down. We keep moving through the facility, doing what we need to do, and then when things go south, we just alert you guys and you'll come through the portal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you guys want me to call in like a strike team from the reinforcements I've recruited?
Uh, honestly, if anything, we probably don't need to call them currently, since if we have me, you, Gilgamesh, Sky, and then if White Star Scream,
You
or
mean Shockwave?
Shockwave, yeah, if White Shockwave joins us, that's a pretty hefty squad.
But we also got to take into account that there might be a couple big bots on that station as well as Shockwave experiments that we've got to fight through.
We did run into a combiner before. I mean, if we're
If-
gonna run into another one, this is probably gonna be a place where it happens.
If there are Terracons on there, then I can take control of them.
Which is why I'm thinking maybe we call in the veteran aerial bot squad that I've got as reinforcements. Because
I'm
if we
I'm
have
fine
to
if you
get
wanna call
off the
someone.
station without the teleport, they'll be able to still fly out, unlike the ground troops.
I'm fine if you want to call them in because, frankly, we don't know what kind of forces we're going to be facing once we get inside. So we might have, even with everyone on our team, we might end up still having more of a handful. So backup might be nice.
So Ava's still hanging there, and she's wondering, am I going to die, or am I going to get turned into something, or am I going to get tortured?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
She's getting stuffed in one of those stasis tubes, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm gonna leave White Shockwave to deal with the modifications of the pods because he could be able to do that. I'm gonna head outside to make the
Yeah.
call because that way I can give proper correct coordinates for the aerobots to fly out of the space bridge.
I'm also just gonna go ahead and look at Gilgamesh. May I? Because I'm like looking at Ava.
He kind of hands her off to Overload.
Cool. I'm just gonna deck her right in the face to knock her out.
I just imagine you are purposely hitting her more than you should. Insert the scene from the Avengers with Hulkbuster versus the Hulk. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Non-lethal, 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 non-lethal.
Oh my! Shockwave is picked up the tubes and moved over. He's just watching this.
It
looks at Sky.
Complaining.
I didn't know the senator. I mean, this version of Overload is, yes. And he goes right back to work on the pod. He's like, this one's ready to go, and he slides it over without looking at you, and just keeps like, he gets to work on the next one. And he goes, these are pretty standard, and he slides the next one over next to it. He goes, put what's left of her in this one.
There you go. I just put a gif in the Transformers section.
Yeah. Go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep. Sleep, 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 sleep.
Except instead of sleep, it's non-lethal, non-lethal, non-lethal.
Non-lethal sleep, non-lethal sleep. We don't hurt. So as you guys are getting her into one of the pods, Shockwave kind of wants to know, oh, what do I do? Do I need to go somewhere else? Am I going with you? What is the plan for me?
Well, you want a little payback against the people who enslaved you, don't you?
I wouldn't mind. But yes,
So, you can come with us.
I can be of assistance. I am strong. And he kind of looks at his hands. I haven't fought a lot in a long time, but he transforms both of his arms. But I think some payback is necessary. And you see them glow really bright, and then he calms them back down, and he transforms back. And he does his fingers. Interesting.
Good. In the meantime, let's make sure that the shuttle has the correct number of cargo that it should contain.
Shockwave, I can help with that. I already know, since I've had to do it so many times. I'll start loading you two, but I will leave you on the more closer side. That way you can get out really quickly. And he's like, you know what I mean, kind of thing.
He nods.
For the rest of us, I can place stasis pods in there, do the same modifications. I've had to put some larger containers, and he kind of gestures toward Overload and Void Striker a little bit, like larger containers into these shuttles.
We shouldn't need to join Gilgamesh in this drift. We have our own way of getting on there.
Very well. Just an idea I could throw out there. But let's get you all loaded and ready to go. Sky, do you want Sky to go with you? Just if she's
I do,
going.
yes.
So I'll just say he's prepared his pod for her, and he leans down to her really close, and he kind of puts his hand around her. It's almost like she's this father-daughter look. Like she kind of grabs a hold around his neck and hugs him. I really missed you. It's been a long time. We're gonna have to catch up if we survive this. Maybe we can go home. And you see his head drop a little. We can't go home. She steps back. What do you mean we can't go home? You don't know, do you? Our universe was destroyed.
Gilgamesh's eyes immediately dart in their direction upon hearing that.
Whoever of us is here, we're here. The shockwave, he doesn't go by shockwave in his universe, or any universe really. He is Unicron's pet in a way, or property, slave. Take your pick. From what information I understand, this shockwave that is here brought Unicron to our universe to stop him there, and that Unicron ate pretty much everything in our universe. We don't have a home to go to. She just drops to her knees. She starts crying, and he has his hand on her back lightly. I'm sorry, I didn't know you didn't know this, but if this happens again here, we can't let Unicron into this universe. But I don't think the shockwave that we're dealing with wants him here. He wants him destroyed. He wanted some kind of gun. Something to stop this one. But also he needed a lot of power or something else. V-Wave is not somebody I would expect ever to be like. Although it seems like, and he looks over at you, Overload and Void Striker, and he kind of, there's a lot of things that I'm not understanding here.
Gilgamesh kind of walks over to Sky and tries to kind of help her back to her feet a little bit and looks to Shockwave. I'll take care of this one. You need to go finish loading up those cargo containers. We're on a time limit right now.
Yes. Might I say, it is good to see you, my good boy. I know you are not him. I didn't want to say anything right then. It is good to see you. And he gets up. He doesn't say anything else. He just gets up and he starts moving things and getting them ready.
Gilgamesh is mouthing like he was going to say something, but then he stops and kind of looks back down the Sky.
She's kind of just not looking up. She's kind of just checked out a little bit. Drift feels this, and he kind of drifts away from you, Void Striker, for a moment, and he kind of comes over. Wavelength.
I've walked outside, so I didn't have to float back in.
Oh, okay. See, there you go. So he would feel it anyway, so he comes in looking for her. But Wavelength is sitting there, and she knows this is something else. For you, Void Striker, she's just... Wavelength's just like, nothing. She just knows there's emotion there. But Drift is like... transforms, and he just holds her hand. Looks like a little kid holding Mom's hand in a way. But he's just kind of holding her hand, and she just kind of checked out for the moment. And he's like, dude, why don't we have you sit over here? It'll be okay. You're more than welcome to stay here with us. Like, he's really trying to make it softer below and just...
Well, I've already offered them a permanent slot here.
Yeah, it's like... He's trying to, it's like remind her, hey. So with that, she's kind of doing her thing. They're getting... Or Shockwave's getting things ready for you. With this, would it be alright, guys, if we stop the session here so I can get my son to his thing?
Yeah. I'm absolutely fine with this being.
And it would be a good spot to stop because you guys are going to be jetting over here in a moment, and we'll take care of that right at the beginning of the next session.
Starts with me making a phone call.
Yeah. Hello. What's up, guys? But
Man, this will be the shortest session we've had in how long?
yeah, I know this is shorter than the last one.
Hey, look, it's the
This
session Blue complains about.
Yeah.
Well, this is part 1 of episode 23.
Yeah, this is like a maybe a might be a 3-parter, but I'm gonna see how. I was hoping to go a little longer, guys. I'm sorry, but I didn't know this was
Yeah,
going.
no, yeah, it's not your fault. Like your son's graduating. You got stuff to do. Life happens.
Damn it,
man.
and him graduating, getting in the way of my sessions here. No, no, yeah, it's just one of those things. But we are gonna get into more combat.
Junior? All right.
Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna leave stream go. You guys continue on the session.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen the way you think.
Yeah, I'm just come back to holy crap, what happened?
It's time. Okay, it's time to give everyone an Omnicog.
God.
Don't worry, I gave Unicron space aids, aka the Rust Plague.
Yeah.
We all three have gained the power of the primes.
Oh Jesus.
We all have our own separate dark saber.
Oh God.
And don't worry, I may or may not have found the Enigma of combination.
Oh. See, I let you guys go, and this is what's gonna happen.
See, this is what's gonna happen if you leave us to our own devices.
All right, 3 of you say bye,
we
so I
all-
can. Oh my
You
God.
forgot last thing. We all 3 of us attained our own super mode.
Yeah. Say bye, everyone. There you go.
Bye.
See you next week. Get some sleep.
Past
May the
episodes
common cold
of
guide your heart.
Past episodes are in the YouTube. Whatever I say, remember what I said the last time at the end of the session, because I can't remember off the top of my head because my brain's fried, and I got to get my son to his thing. So,
All they
the
need to know is
YouTubes.
it's the weekend. Get fucked up.
yeah, check the links out. It's in Twitch. It goes over to YouTube. YouTube comes back here. So there you go.
Thank you for listening. We love you guys.